We'll be doing a bank attack guide recommended by YouTube members and patrons. It is advised to check my bank defense guide to follow the foes easier, which is located on the top right corner. Make sure to put the corresponding subtitles and to check the timestamps. You will need to know following callouts: spiral stairs, blue or silver stairs, red, gold, tellers, reception, and janitor. Also, you could hear calls such as heaven, top skylight, or top square for these stairs, and the last staircases are usually called main stairs. Bank. Bank is a map that is probably hated by a lot of the community because it requires you to have a stack to push every objective. Attack itself is way harder in soloQ, but Bank is one of the hardest maps to attack even with a stack. The reason behind it is you require at least 3-man stack to clear out roamers, as one should always be around lobby denying the spiral stairs, and 2 people pushing from the heaven. This map also allows roamers to take interesting roam plays in the first floor, so anything can happen. Let's start with attacking, shall we? Solo queue part. I will recommend you to have Hibana or Gridlock, or a smoke operator, and push through the garage. You won't be able to clear roamers yourself, you need to rely on your teammates for that. Clearing out garage could be an issue if they are contesting it, but that is your best bet. You can use one of the smokes to push your way inside of the garage, but usually you will have a free way to the garage. Hibana is recommended, as then you can make a hole from the garage toward the red and gold, and not allow defenders to play there, helping your team to plant the diffuser. However, smoke grenade and especially gridlock is suggested, and then you'll be able to rush inside of the lockers or red with the help of the smokes and tracks. From lockers and red, you will pretty much will make a huge collapse in the defense, and all what you need to do is hold your position whilst your team is pushing. Stack part. As already mentioned, you will definitely want to clear roamers, and you can do it systematically by pushing through the top heaven and stock trading. Make sure to have drones ahead and in a correct spot in the preparation phase. You want to clear out the whole top floor, and as a droner, knowing all the drone spots will make your roam hunt way quicker. You need to have a person by the lobby, or rappelling by the lobby, or on the garage roof, as that's the only way to defenders to run back for the spiral. Once the top floor is clear, you will clear the roamers to open an archives or tellers. Open roamers are deal with the opening the top floor hatches. That leaves them only cafeteria. If there are roamers in cafeteria, they are stuck because you have a person by the heaven, and put them through the open an alley, or even electrical. That will be easier. Once you clear the cafeteria, you can push archives and tellers from the both sides. You will want to do this roam clear within the 2 minutes if there were roamers, or within 1 minute and 30 seconds if they weren't. Now the big obstacle is pushing blue stairs. To push out blue, you need to open the scarlet hatch even if it is reinforced, as that way the blue stairs people are stuck there till the death. Now to push them actually, you will need flashbangs, frags, or Zofia on cache mines, but you will also have to disable all the ADSs located on the top. Thatcher peak is recommended for that, and for the execution part. Once you clear the blue stairs and open the skylight hatch, you should be opening the default wall, possibly this wall as well. It is not as required. Speaking of opening stuff, you will need to open 2 more hatches, one in the open and one in the admin. Since Hibana is usually being banned, knowing how to open 2 hatches with just Maverick is very essential. You can check the top right corner for the guides. With the open hatch being opened, a frag grenade or capital firebolt, you can deny the red player. With the admin hatch open, you can see the whole CC and cover your plants being pushed from the red. Also, if you have like 20 seconds, you will have to drop hatches during your plant, as your plant will be stalled by the help of the C4s, smoke babes, echo drones, algorithm mines and more. Pulse could give you an additional problem if he is in gold. However, Thatcher will counter him through an EMP around the planter, and you will disable his sensor for the full 10 seconds, and also nearby yokai drones, blooper camera, etc. Also, having Asher or Zofia are definitely recommended, as you will have to deal with the evil eyes or bulletproof cameras out of the CC. I forgot to tell you, during the execution part, you'll need to hold this rotation. Could be from the admin or server's wall. These are covered, and a flank on a bow or a person, as the hatch is destroyed. And the final thing I missed, there is one default plant spot just out of the breach facing blue stairs. However, when you smoked off everything and deny pulls with the EMP, they cannot know where you are planting. then you can actually plant in this corner. So if they are swimming with a smoke or a C4 at your by the default, well, you won't be denied. Do it only if you smoked off red. You can cover up the door from the hatches. Attacking archives and tellers. SoloQ part. You have two options. Push from basement toward main stairs up, and that's very rarely done, therefore unexpected, or you can push the top floor. Clear top floor roamers somehow, and do the vertical pressure or just open the vertical holes and move on. Or, actually do a vertical pressure depending on where your team is. Consider where your team is as a path that you won't be flanked, and put a flank drone on the other side, and check it very frequently when doing the vertical pressure. Stack part. You will definitely want to clear out top floor the same way as we did already. You can also have the 4-player Bardusio windows for additional crossfire. Once you clear out the top floor from roamers, you will have to open vertical angles over the side. I'll explain the how to back or sledge video. The exact timestamp will be given in the description, so check that out. Once you have done it, you have two ways of attacking this side. One is to take control of the lobby, possibly destroying this wall, even from the outside, or make bullet holes not to allow defenders to flank you. And once you take the control of the lobby, which will be done relatively quickly, you will be able to open up tellers, walls, and once you do it, you should be ready for the plant over here. A smoke grenade will be neat, where you can have people horizontally as well as vertically covering your plant. Another default will be in this corner, however in higher MMR, this wall will usually be opened, leg or body level on your side, so they can deny that push from the main stairs bottom or even open. So the requirement to plant there is either to clear these two rooms or to have two smoke grenades, one to push your way in the default against the archives angle and one from the main stairs open angle. The other push will require you to have control of the cafeteria and open. You can clear out cafeteria the same way as we talked before, minus heaven, but you still have the electrical line of sight. You don't need main stair control, all what you need there is info, a drone will be handy. Once you get the control of it, you can open up the triple walls and then you can plan in the archives coming from the mid-skylight. Be aware if someone is playing sneakily inside of the electrical or on the top of the blue stairs. You again have the angles from the admin, horizontal ones and conference, vertical ones, and you should be very good. Attacking open and cafeteria. Before SoloQ part, I would like to touch a bit more of open and cafe attack. Most people are unaware of how to attack this, and it's understandable. This is the only side that is attacked differently in the map. All other 3 sides will be attacked in the same way. To hold open and cafe as a defender, you want to hold it horizontally or from the bottom. You maybe want to stall a bit of time on the top, but your main thing on the top is actually just one hatch, the janitor one, as it denies the rotation between the arcade and the cafe. Good teams will hold open extendedly. SoloQ part. Back sledge edge your way in the electrical toward the side. You will split the objective in half. Maverick can do wonders as well if reinforced. Other than that, you need a stack as you will have to get the control of the top floor, so you don't get flanked during the execution. Stack part. Well, get the top floor control and open janitor, hallway, and stock trading hatch. If you have a pair of smoke grenade, you can smoke off admin and cafeteria angle, and drop from the stock trading hatch and plant immediately, while some of your team is holding double door either from the hatch or main stairs. You will definitely need someone to cover rush C4 pushes from the cafeteria. Ying will be actually really good, as you will definitely blind everyone there, or you can use gridlock. If you are not a fan of rush pushes, then you will need to get the control of archives and tellers by sledging from above and pushing from the lobby and opening the lounge wall toward the main hallway. You should get the control of archives relatively quickly as long as they don't have a specific strat to hold it. Once you do it, you can open up the mid-heavens vault toward the cafeteria. Again, be aware of the electrical and the top blue. And once you have done it, you will push all the defenders either to death if they want to stay in the cafeteria, or to open, which all places can be and will be denied from the top, hatches or vertical destruction. Also, if admin walls were reinforced, blow it up with the hard breacher. So now the question will be, default plant spots? Well, there are none. You should plant in the place where your team covers you, but honestly you have taken control of the both sides and the whole second and the first floor, so it's a free state. So just to note, you cleared second floor when attacking open only because you could be flanked during the execution. The top floor control means nothing to you when trying to push into the sides. Attacking CEO and Executive. SoloQ part. Be Maverick. Make sure to have the top square walls open, or at least have multiple angles to fight against the defenders in CEO and Conference from the same walls. Your push will be identical as I will explain in the stock part. Stock part. 2 pushes. For the top square push, you will have to get control of the square, janitor, long hallway and stock trading. Preferably with the Hibana open up this wall that will most likely be reinforced, so that with one Xeros you can deny all the rotation from the roamers to the side. Also, since you will have someone repelling there, you can also repel on the CO windows upside down. And whilst opening the CO vault with the thermite, you just established 3 crossfires in both objectives. You will have to clear out janitors somehow, either from the repel of the CO windows or the push from the hallway with the flashes, frags, Candelas, Capital Fireball, or just droning and fragging him out. And once you have done it, you can plant behind the sofa, which is not penetrable. No need for any smoke toward the executive, as you will blind your plank cover with it. 2 things to worry about. C4 when opening the CO wall, and C4 when planting behind the sofa. As you can see, the only way to deny your plant is from the janitor, aside from the CO from below. You can expect defenders to be around meeting and front desk, so keep that in mind if you're defending the planter, especially if you're the one who is repelling. The other attack requires you a bit more of a stack, I will say 5 stack, and a coordination, which is a push through the lobby, with the safe hole on the long hallway wall and the repel by the CO. This one is a bit more advanced and usually not seen in the ranked. However, if you would like to see how it is done, make sure to check the description, I will give you the exact link. For both pushes, the repel person is probably one of the most important plays to be during the attack. The garage player also has beautiful angles towards the side and around it, and through the long hallway's hole if repelled. So mindful flank drone spots. At the top of the long hallway, you can immediately check the 2 out of 3 staircases, and on the third, you'll be pushing, so you will know exactly if defenders during the preparation phase are on the top floor, and when you're doing the vertical pressure, you will know if you're being flanked. Another drone will be exactly below to check the main stairs. It is very powerful when doing the basement push or archives. Having a drone inside of the lobby bushes will cover your repel person by the CO and will see the overall lobby, a big part of the map, and that's pretty much it. Thank you for watching the video. If you have any feedback, let me know down in the comment section below. If you would like to support me, drop me a like, subscribe and hit the notification bell not to miss any video from my channel. Make sure to join my Discord server and to follow me on Twitter.